I have a very good friend. His name is Mike Fix. Mike is, by the way, I'm Rich Forliato, I'm the town historian, and Mike is the historian emeritus from the Eastchester Historical Society. And about 4 years ago, he came up with this wonderful idea called The Hero Next Door. He wanted to eulogize the people who paid the final sacrifice in our major wars. And he put together a wonderful exhibit that's on our and parts of it are on our website. And Ms. Kim looked at our website and read about the hero next door and the stories of many of our veterans. A good number of them died in World War II, but also there were other major conflicts where people from Eastchester, Bronxville, and Tuckahoe paid the final sacrifice. This evening, and I'm staying on the topic, has been a wonderful experience for me, at least. One person who couldn't be here beside Mike is the Whites, Phil and Alice White. And Phil is the longest serving mayor ever of Tuckahoe. He's out in the Midwest. His granddaughter is getting married this weekend. And he also asked me to extend his regrets that he can't make it. But Phil told me a very moving story. In 1942, his brother Frank was going off to serve. At that time, anybody who was going off to serve met in Waverly Square. Phil, his sister, and his mother and father walked from Waverly Square down to the depot in Tuckahoe. And as he was watching his brother go off to war, he looked at his father, and for the first time and the only time in Phil's life, he saw his father cry. So young men and women from Eastchester have paid an inordinate price for our freedom. If you look at Monument Park, there's a Gold Star Mother tribute, and those are mothers who lost their sons. And Ms. Kim and the Cottle School students are going to tell you the story of the people who paid the final sacrifice.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kaya Kim. I am the music teacher at Cottle Elementary School in Tuckahoe. I have several of my chorus students from 4th and 5th grade who volunteered their time to be part of this event. I also think it's very appropriate with Memorial Day approaching, but it was a very good lesson for them to realize how lucky they are that they can live in a society that's not war-torn. And I don't want to dampen your moods because it's a little bit kind of a sad event, but it's more of we want to appreciate our gratitude for all of these soldiers who gave up their lives so that we can live in a free country. So I'd like to invite up the Cottle School students. So come on up.
Robert C. Murray lived in Crestwood. He fought in Vietnam. His mission was to push the Viet Cong north. He was fighting in 35 miles south of Da Nang. He died on June 7, 1970, when a member of his squad tripped over a grenade rigged as a trap. And Robert threw himself onto the grenade and protected the 8 other men in his squad. He is remembered at the Vietnam Wall and at the Eastchester Medal of Honor Park on Route 22.
Paul A. McDonald lived in Eastchester. After graduating Colgate University, he joined the Marine Corps. He fought in World War II in the Pacific Islands. He died at combat in August 1st, 1994, while attempting to rescue a fellow wounded Marine. He is at the Hawaii World War II Memorial. Ralph G. Wills, Jr. lived in Bronxville and graduated from Bronxville High. He enlisted in the U.S. Army Air Corps in 1942 and earned his wings as a pilot. He died on October 18th, 1944, when his plane crashed. He is remembered with a stone monument at the Cambridge American Cemetery where he was buried.
Robert Potter Wilson lived in Bronxville. He fought in World War II. His mission was to bomb Wilhelmshaven, Germany. He died on February 21st, 1943 in an air fight. He's remembered with a monument on Parliament Hill in Ottawa.
Arthur E. Burnap Jr. lived in Bronxville and graduated from Bronxville High School. He fought in World War II in the Air Force. After 2 years of active duty, he died during combat in Italy on February 24, 1945. He is remembered with the Purple Heart Medal and the Army Air Force Medal and is buried in the American Cemetery in Florence, Italy.
Douglas Van Buskirk lived in Bronxville. He fought in World War II. His mission was to bomb the enemy from the air. He died on November 7th, 1941, when his plane was shot down over Germany. He was 20 years old, and he is remembered with a plaque in the Dutch Reformed Church of Bronxville.
Ernest James Hill moved to Tuckahoe in his senior year of high school, and at 6'5", he was an excellent basketball player. After graduating Tuckahoe High School, he joined the United States Marines. His mission was to protect the airport at the city of Danang during the Vietnam War in 1967. He died of a cannon misfire. He was only 20 years old. He is remembered at the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C., and the Village Hall of Tuckahoe.
Gaetano J. Kennelly lived in Tuckahoe. He fought in World War II in the 82nd Airborne Division. His mission was to parachute into war zones. He died in Germany when his truck hit a landmine. He is buried in the Netherlands Cemetery. His nieces and nephews live in Eastchester.
Edgar T. Joyce lived in Tuckahoe. He fought in World War II in the Navy. Edgar was fighting on a Q ship called the U.S. Atik, as pictured, and went down with the ship when it got hit by a torpedo. He died on March 26, 1942. He is remembered at a memorial in Battery Park in Lower Manhattan.
Augustus J. Quirk was from Tuckahoe. He fought in World War I. His mission was to fight in combat in Germany. He died on the 3rd of October 1918. He was buried in the Holy Mount Cemetery in Eastchester. He is memorialized at the World War I monument at the bottom of Crichton's Hill, which is in Tuckahoe. Howard C. Shepard was from Bronxville. He joined the Marine Corps Reserve in 1942 during World War II. His mission was to invade Iwo Jima in the Pacific. He died when he was hit by an enemy mortar shell on February 27, 1945. He is remembered at the Dutch Reformed Church. James Pee Wee Samuels lived in Tuckahoe. He joined the Marines after graduating Tuckahoe High School. He fought in the Vietnam War in the Headquarters and Service Operations Unit, which provided troops with food, medicine, weapons, and clothing. He died while delivering weapons. He is memorialized at the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C., and also at the Village Hall lobby in Tuckahoe.
Henry Russell Kenyon Jr. lived in Bronxville. He was part of the Squadron 8, which was responsible for diverting the attention of the enemy aircraft and ships 6 months after the attack of Pearl Harbor. His plane was shot down and he was presumed lost on June 5, 1943. He is remembered at the Honolulu Memorial.
Kazimierz Kalas was an immigrant from Poland who moved to Bronxville. In 1942, he joined the service and was recognized for his talent in taking photographs. On November 16, 1944, he was flying near the coast of Italy, taking war photographs when his plane got hit. He was 33 years old.
Joseph Patrick Kennedy Jr. lived in Bronxville. He dropped out of Harvard Law School to become a U.S. Navy pilot in 1942. He died on August 12, 1944, when his plane exploded for unknown reasons. His body was never recovered, but he was awarded the Air Medal, the Flying Cross, and the Navy Cross. He was 20 years old.
I want to thank Ms. Ruth Regan, our librarian at Cottle, who was responsible for helping Ms. Girardi's 4th grade class for doing all the research on the soldiers. I also want to thank Ms. Roberta Martin. She's our computer specialist. Without her, I wouldn't have all these beautiful pictures mounted on the foam core. So we have 2 girls who will introduce our chorus.
The Cottle School students would like to sing a special song to thank all the soldiers from Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville who gave their lives fighting for this country.
This song is called Thank You by Jim Brickman and was recorded by the American Idol finalist Matt Gerard. Words cannot express how thankful we are to all the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice. The solo will be sung by Jada Rosas.
show it, but I hope you know it.
Let's give them a real round of applause. What a wonderful job they did. I can't think of a better way to end our final presentation. The wonderful thing that's happened for our 350th is we've been highlighting what Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville hold in common, and also what makes each of the three communities unique. Here we have the story of our young men who went off to war and didn't come back from the three communities. And these kids did a great job. I'm really impressed. And I want to thank you for coming tonight. We've had possibly 200 people here tonight. We started at 5. It's a little after 7 now. And I want to make one more plug. We've discovered even in the last 5 years, we've discovered so much new about our history. And for those of you who are sitting here and you want to learn more about it, go to our wonderful website, Eastchester350.org, if you haven't already done so. There are pictures, there are articles. The Hero Next Door was featured on the website, and that's a great way to learn. And also next fall, we're coming out with the first full book on the history of Eastchester, Bronxville, and Tuckahoe. Just for a little background information, Eastchester used to be 2.5 times the size of what it is today. It included all of Mount Vernon and parts of the northern Bronx, Eastchester, Bronxville, and Tuckahoe. And today, in our book, it's titled, it's going to be over 300 pages, 150 illustrations, 15 different chapters, very well documented. It's going to be a lasting contribution to our history. And if you haven't already picked it up, we have a pre-publication price. A lot of people donated money to make it affordable to people. It's $35 if you buy before June 15th. You can purchase it on the website or look at our brochure that we have. But I want to thank you for coming tonight, and let's give one last round of applause for these wonderful students.
I also just want to mention something. As principal of Cottle School, the parents in this audience and all the guests, the entire program, all three communities, the high school at Tuckahoe was amazing, and I'm just so proud of every child standing up here. What a wonderful tribute to the heroes of this community and other communities in the area. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, children. And thank you to the gentleman that moderated for all the time he gives as a former history teacher and historian. Thank you so much.